Hey you. Yeah, you. Smile. Hi friend, you're listening to Marysaystosmile, the podcast I hope you get something out of. Whether it's a smile, laugh, or learning something about whatever it is we're talking about. Hi everybody, it's your girl Mary, and today I am joined by
Simi,
affectionately known as Shimmy Shimmy and Shimmy. Simi!
Hi.
Okay, so let's just get right into it.
Okay.
Obviously, by the title of this episode, we are going to be talking about astrology / horoscope / signs. Yes. So the first thing I want to go over is, do we really believe in it? How do you feel?
I think you can take astrology with a grain of salt. Like, you don't have to believe it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of more something that people like to use for, like, to discover some self-reflection stuff.
Ooh.
Because, like, if you don't know who you are, astrology would be good for, like, just self-identity purposes.
Yeah, like, I feel like there's a lot of times in your life where you go through transitional periods, and sometimes you're just like, who am I?
Yeah.
And how do you even begin to find oneself is, you can just learn about yourself. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of times when people read, personally, when I read my horoscopes and everything, I'm like, oh, that is so true. I didn't know. Other people would relate to it / it was a thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, if you read something from astrology that's, like, supposedly your sign and you don't vibe with it, if you're like, oh, no, that's not me, you still learn something about yourself.
Yeah.
So,
no,
yeah, it
for
still
sure.
works out either way because, like, it's just learning about yourself.
Yeah. I think also, though, some people use it to justify, like you're going to hear about this, but we're both Scorpios, and a lot of Scorpios justify being bitches because they're Scorpios. And it's like, no, Sharon, you're not a Scorpio. You're just being a bitch. Like, calm down.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, I agree with what you said. Like, if you read something and you don't find it to be true, like, don't think, like, is there something wrong with me because I'm not like that? It's just literally everyone's different. Kind of generalizations.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. I literally just said it, but what is, let's do our birthday and then your sign.
Okay. So my birthday is November 2nd, so I'm like mid-Scorpio.
Mm-hmm. I am October 25th, so I'm actually, like, I was on the cusp of Libra, but I am a Scorpio as well.
Yeah.
Okay, what is your big three?
My big three, so first off, big three is like
give me the breakdown.
Your main, like, when people ask you, like, oh, what are your big three? It's like the main things that describe your personality, like how you show yourself off to other people.
Mm-hmm.
So there's your sun sign, which is like your basic identity. It's like your ego.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have a rising sign, which is kind of like how people perceive you, like how you show yourself off to other people. And then you have a moon sign, which kind of is like your emotions and your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So my sun is Scorpio. My rising sign, or it's also called an ascendant sign, it's Taurus. So I'm very, like, I show out very calm to other people.
Oh.
So people will think I'm very calm, and that's where my rising sign comes in.
Word.
Yeah. And then my moon sign is Sagittarius.
Sag, baby.
Yeah. So that's where my impulse comes in, when I'm like make impulse decisions and stuff when it comes to my emotions. So if, like, Mary jumped off a bridge, I jump with her.
Okay.
Impulse.
Ooh.
I don't want to go without Mary.
I love you. Okay, so I just know mine is Scorpio, Aquarius.
Yeah. So your Scorpio rising is kind of like you very, like, you don't tell everyone your whole life story. So, like, a lot of people, like, people know you, but they don't know you deep down.
Ooh.
Like, you don't get personal with everybody.
Uh-huh.
And that also kind of matches your Scorpio sun too.
Right.
And then your Aquarius moon. I think I'm honestly not that familiar with Aquariuses, even though Sharyse and my brother are one.
Yes, best friend. Hi, Sharyse.
Hi, Sharyse. But I think Aquarius, like, in emotions are very, like, they don't show emotions. Yeah. So, like, even though you have them, if you're around people that, like, strangers you don't know, you're not gonna, like, show any emotions. Like, you're not gonna cry in front of them. Or you're not gonna say I'm sad.
Okay. That, yeah. I will cry in front of anyone and everyone, but I won't say like verbally, like if it's something serious, like that it's bothering me.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is true. Love it. So if for people that don't know their big three or whatever, how you would find these things out is you usually just go to a website like to find your big three or whatever. Or as Simi said, you can Google like how to find your rising, ascendant, sun, moon, whatever. And you usually just have to type in your birthday, the time you were born, and where you were born, because the stars align, and that is it. Yeah. I think it's interesting because some people like they have the full on like star charts, and it looks kind of crazy.
It's very complicated.
I was like, oh, okay. So next, what do we know about the difference? Or no, like we should go over the time periods. Like this is Aries, this is da-da-da, this is da-da-da.
Oh, yeah. So, like, to sum it up really well, basically the sun signs will always change, like, in between, like, the 19th to the 22nd of any month.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So, I know for a fact that Aquarius ends on February 21st, but it fluctuates. So every horoscope is different, which is why I say 19th to 22nd.
Oh, right.
So there's like a little borderline of like space. So yeah, so the horoscope in order starts off with Aries.
Yep.
And so it goes Aries in like early. What is Aries again?
So Aries is going to be March 21st to April 19th.
Yeah.
Next is our Tauruses, April 20th to May 20th.
Okay.
Gemini is May 21st to June 20th. Cancer is June 21st to July 22nd. Leo is July 23rd to August 22nd. Virgo is August 23rd to September 22nd. Libra, September 23rd to October 22nd. That's why I'm cuspy. Scorpio is October 23rd to November 21st. Sagittarius, affectionately known as Sag, is November 22nd to December 21st. Capricorn is December 22nd to January 19th. Aquarius is January 20th to February 18th. Pisces is February 19th to March 20th.
Yeah, so it'll like mid-month they change.
Yeah. I know sometimes I forget that. I'm like, oh, at the end of the month it's like a different one. It's like, no, sis, it's like, because it's like almost 2 months. Yeah, like part of one and part of another. That makes sense. So I'm always like, I don't know any Cancers because I don't really know summer babies.
I surprisingly know a lot of Cancers.
Yeah?
There's a lot of, I think Scorpios and Cancers actually get along really well, which is why.
Oh, do we really?
Yeah, when I meet a Cancer, I actually get really close to them all the time. My cousins, a lot of my high school friends, and a lot of college friends that I've made, a lot of them are Cancers.
I know a lot of Aries, specifically Aries women. Yeah. Like, I'm always just like, or I love guessing. Like, sometimes when like I meet with someone and I don't know, we just like talk about astrology. They're like, okay, what are you? And then I'm like, let's guess each other's one. Like, what kind of vibes are we putting out for the other? And I want to say half the time I'm right, or half the time I'm like, I definitely don't think you're this because you don't give me this energy. And they're like, thank you. Or they're like, oh yeah, I'm not that. I'm like, hey, that's what I thought.
I'll never forget when I was with you and Zoe, and you guys were like, Simi, what's your sign? And I was like, Scorpio. And Zoe's like, are you sure?
Yes, no, for sure. Or there's certain Leos that I meet that I'm like, it all makes sense now. Which is like, you know, not whatever. Take it as you will, but yes.
There's a lot of people I met, or that I know that I just recently found out were Leos, Torrance and Karen.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, it makes sense now. But yeah, I didn't know they were Leos.
Yes. But it's kind of, it has to go in hand with the big three. It's like your sun could be one thing, but then your rising is going to be like more what you show to others, and then that's what's really going to come through.
Yeah. Because then I do know a lot of fire signs. Like I know a Sagittarius who I think she has a Cancer rising, and she cries a lot. So, so I'm like, are you sure you're a fire sign? She's like, yes.
I am. I can't change the day I was born.
Yeah, but she's like, she's very sweet.
Oh.
Yeah.
So going back to like when we kind of talk to people about astrology, do you often find that it's kind of hard to initiate the conversation because it's hard to like unless they just outspokenly just say it. Like I've met 3 people recently, like when we've hung out, we'll have like all these conversations and at the very end they're like, so like how do you feel about astrology? I'm like, oh, I'm kind of down for it. How do you feel about it? And they're like, oh, okay, I'm down for it. I'm like, oh, okay, let's go really quick. And I think it's funny because like we're both kind of hesitant because I feel like it's very hit or miss. Like either people are like down with it or people are very like against it. Like you don't believe in it. It's not real. It's bad. Blah 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 blah. And there's not people really in the middle. It's like you're either down or you're not. So it's kind of hard sometimes if you really don't know about if someone's down or not.
Yeah, I remember I had someone ask me once, so what's your sign? And I thought that they meant traffic sign. So I was like,
what?
I said stop.
Stop! Oh my gosh, you did not.
I did. And they laughed at me like, no, honey, horoscope.
What's your sign? Stop sign. I'm a yield. That's so great.
Yeah.
I love that for you. My favorite story about if people are down with astrology or not is, I think, were you there that night? A bunch of my friends were at my house and we were talking about it, and my mom walks in and she goes, oh, but Mary, you don't believe in that. And I go, yeah.
I don't remember if I was there for that one, but I remember you telling me.
Yeah. Me and Zoe reference it all the time because we always just, it's so funny. Like whenever we talk about horoscopes, me and Zoe will just always end with, but we don't believe in that, honey. It's so bad. But yeah. Okay. Do you agree or disagree with certain stereotypes about the signs?
Sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So a really good like example of this, Adam Onishi.
Oh, the full name drop. Okay, yeah.
When I see him, he is a very exact definition of a Libra.
Really?
Like, 100%.
Oh, nice.
Every time I think of him, just Libra.
Libra man.
Yeah, because he's smart. Like
he is.
He's very smart.
Period.
And I know Libras are like connected to like intelligence, communication. They can talk to anyone.
Oh, okay.
Like they're really good at like, even if you like, I think Adam's an introvert, but like even though he's like to himself, like he knows how to talk to people.
He really does.
Yeah.
He can make conversation with anyone, honestly. Like I know what you mean. Yeah.
So yeah, that's what every time I think of a Libra, I always just think of Adam.
Period. I think our friend group also does that. Yes. I do believe with the stereotype that Leos have big dick energy when sometimes they shouldn't have big dick energy, but they're like the Gryffindors of the astrology sign.
They really are.
Period. Like, I don't know what up with Gryffindors, literally lion, and then Leos, literally lion, but like, when I think of Leos, I literally think of Gryffindors.
When I think of Leos, I think of the 7 deadly sins, sin of pride.
Oh, yeah.
It's exactly that,
Period. So for Scorpios, our stereotype is that we're low-key bitches, but then very passionate. And I agree with that. I mean, I don't think you're bitchy. I think I sometimes can be, but I think for both of us, when there's something that we deeply care about, we're just very passionate because we just care a lot.
Yeah, pretty much. I think when I think of Scorpios, I think of very not mysterious, but like held back and I guess possessive. Yeah,
I can vibe with that.
Yeah. I don't know. I just read a lot of books.
Okay.
Where people are like, you're Scorpios. So like, there's a TV show called Criminal Minds, and then
Matthew Gray Googler, come for me. Yeah.
And then this character named Emily, she's nobody knows about her like background at first. Like, she doesn't talk about her personal life or anything.
Right.
But like, she cares about everyone in the cast
team.
So I'm like, she might be a Scorpio, and then eventually in the show, she's like, I'm a Scorpio.
And you're like, I knew it!
Yeah, pretty much.
I get very confused about the Aries stereotype. Because whenever I hear about Aries, I hear ooh, they're super chaotic and crazy and like, ah. But then I don't know if it's because I just know a lot of Aries women, but all of the Aries women I know are so calm, cool, collected, and mature for their age. Like, I'm thinking of these 3 specific Aries in my head, and they're just like the most calm, mature, chill people ever. And I don't know if that has to do with their rising or whatever, but I don't know. I always see videos where like it's super chaotic and then people comment, this is Aries energy. And I'm like, where? Or who are these Aries? Like, but then the only Aries that I like know, but I don't know quotation marks is like Julian from YouTube, Jenna Marbles' fiance. But he has really chaotic energy and people are like, true Aries or something. And I was like, I don't know any other Aries like him. Yeah.
I think that's where the stereotype kind of like breaks a little bit, because I also know a lot of Aries, but mostly it's Aries men that I know who are very like fight me.
Okay, energy. So maybe it's a gender thing.
Maybe there is a difference. Like a lot of people say that there is a difference between male and female like signs.
Yeah, for sure. That's how because that's how I feel about Libra, Libra men, Libra women, and then Aries men, Aries women. That's what I'm learning.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, Simi, so I feel like you had a subtopic that you wanted to bring up.
So one thing I did want to bring up was this thing called modalities.
Okay.
Or modalities. I don't know how it's pronounced.
Yeah.
But it's basically like it's how you express yourself in each sign. So there's 3 modalities.
Okay.
And each element is connected. Each element for a sign is connected. So there's fixed, mutable, and cardinal signs.
Ooh, okay.
So as Scorpios, we're fixed signs.
Okay.
And they're kind of like power and sustaining and stuff like that.
Oh, power. Gee, okay.
Yeah, so there's like a whole ass chart that like people can look up if they want. It's just fun to look at. And like if you go into astrology, like if you like go deep, like there's a lot of Twitter posts with like fixed signs. They talk about fixed signs, like cardinal signs. And then if you know which one you are, you can like
figure out more about yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, so you said there's 3.
Yeah.
And we said we're fixed. There's cardinal. What's the third one?
Mutable.
Yeah,
I think mutables are like Geminis.
Oh, like that. Okay. That's interesting. I've never really heard about that, so I feel like I should go look it up later.
Yeah, people do talk a lot about it, but then they also put like your actual sign in with it, so
that's nice. Okay,
kind of like look over it. Yeah.
So you kind of mentioned Twitter. Where do you feel like you go for info for astrology?
For info on astrology, mostly I got it from Twitter. Like I just follow like a bunch of Twitter horoscope astrology stuff.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
And they kind of just talked about it, but then eventually like you find actual people who like
know their stuff.
A lot deeper, and I think that's really cool how people get into it so much, because I only know like surface level,
right?
But I see people who like talk about like a lot of other stuff.
I low-key feel like people that are super into astrology and want to teach others about their signs, they're low-key therapists. Because they're like analyzing you and telling you about yourself, but also things that are good, but what you need to work on so that you can become like a better person or like a happier or healthier person.
Yeah. That actually gets into another thing I wanted to talk about was if you can be born with a sign in planet in retrograde. And what people say about that, if you're born when your chart, if you have a planet that's in retrograde, it kind of shows like something that you need to work on in your life throughout your lifetime.
Oh, okay.
So, for example, I was born with my Saturn in Aries, and it was in retrograde. And so, what that like my Saturn in Aries means that I need to work on my confidence throughout my life.
Yeah.
So different retrogrades is different, or different planets in retrograde is different things you need to work out in life.
You're just telling me all these things. I'm like, I really need to go Google after this. Like, that's what I'm going to do after this. Like, after we get done recording, I'm going to go figure out, like, I want to know so bad now what my planet in retrograde. I laugh it was Mercury. Because frick that biz.
Yeah.
Okay.
And each planet does have different like aspects of your life. So like Venus is how you love. Mercury is how you communicate.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, different planets have different things about your life.
Got it. Okay. Was there anything else you wanted to touch on for today's topic?
I think that was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, guys and girls, theys, everyone, listeners, if you liked hearing us talk about horoscope/astrology, if you vibed with it, let us know. And should we do part 2? Should we bring in our friends with their different signs? I just realized like we're both Scorpios, so maybe this wasn't as like insightful, but if people like this content, maybe we'll do more parts and then we'll mix up the signs, get all the signs and our energies in the room. Let us know. Yeah, Simi, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me, Mary.
Yay! I'm excited for us to do more episodes.
Me too.
Alrighty. Thank you for listening, guys. Bye! Hi there. That was an episode of Marysaystosmile. Please like, share, review, and subscribe. Basically, however you're listening to this podcast. Also, I've made an email for you guys to send questions or topics that you would like for me to discuss/talk about. It's going to be hiMarysaystosmile@gmail.com. One more time, hiMarysaystosmile@gmail.com. Anyways, I hope you have the most amazing day. Bye!